Okay, so the first one, very important, has to do with last week I went down to San Diego and got to be with my colleagues and friends. I'm elected on the larger leadership of Centers for Spiritual Living, and I'm on the Ministers' Council. In fact, I'm a co-chair with my beloved colleague and friend, Doctor, who also got a doctorate at the same time as our Dr. Tracy Brown did, Dr. Andrea Earl from my last hometown of Oakland, California. Shout out, Dr. Andrea. Okay, so this has to do with her. It's all her fault. We rented a house together, and we were up talking, late nights, all that good stuff. And so she told the rest of us, she said, okay, well, I'm going to do y'all the favor, and I'm going to rewatch the pilot of Manifest. Okay, I don't have any Manifest fans in the house. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I had not watched it, and so we watched this show called Manifest together. And I want to say that I do have some bags under my eyes more than normal because I've been binge watching literally since then. I'm on season 3. Okay? So I've chosen Manifest over sleep a little bit. So the first one has to do with, you can catch it on Netflix and Hulu, binge watching. Yep, you heard it right. And the theme of Manifest, they say it over and over and over again, is it's all connected. It's all connected. It's all connected. And this is a theme that is spoken over and over again in different shape, forms, and fashions by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, in The Science of Mind. And one of the ways that he talks about it is that this entire manifestation of spirit, body, both visible and invisible, right, is the body of God. And he says that there is one body in the universe, and within this body, he says, is included all lesser bodies. So that's the first thing that'll change the world. As more and more people really get that there's only one body, and it's all this spiritual body. It's this big thing called God, Spirit, whatever we choose to call it. It changes the world. And now he talks about this lesser body, these lesser bodies, and I want to be very clear, he's not talking about less than. So there's something less than, less significant, or less important when he's talking about lesser bodies. That's not true because, yes, you could remove a cell from this physical body, right? And the body would still function. Yes? Yeah? Okay. But it doesn't mean that that cell is lesser or less significant. In the entire galaxy, within this entire solar system, we could remove one planet, yes? And the solar system would still exist, wouldn't it? What if we removed planet Earth? Ooh, that didn't feel good, did it? So to say that one planet could be lesser, like less significant, in this whole thing is ludicrous if we're talking or thinking about and being with this idea called planet Earth in the galaxy of the Milky Way in the solar system which we're currently in. But we could remove a planet within the solar system, and the solar system still exists, right? And the cosmos still exists, right? So it's certainly not less significant. So every part of creation is this one vehicle, this one plane, shall we say, of the entirety of, because Manifest is about an airplane, if y'all didn't know that, just let me let you in on that, on this whole thing for it to exist. And so every part of creation is the significance that no life or no being is left out. And no life or no being is less significant. Okay, so this is one of our key principles. You've heard it before, but we need to hear it over and over and over again. And someone really needs to hear this, that's hearing it for the first time, that maybe came from some kind of faith tradition or something, that this was not talked about as much as we talk about, the spiritual principle called oneness. Oneness of our principles. There is one infinite reality. We call it many names, including but not limited to God, life, universal spirit, infinite intelligence, first cause, or as Holmes likes to say, the thing itself. And this one infinite reality is undivided. It is complete within itself. It's whole within itself. And this oneness creates everything out of itself, and therefore includes both the absolute and the relative, tangible and intangible, physical and metaphysical aspects of reality. So that is one of our key spiritual principles, oneness. Another way of saying this is that the cosmos is a unified system. This entire cosmos is a unified system. And we know that physicists used to view our universe as being composed of all these separate fragments, of all these individual things. But as we've progressed in our infinite intelligence and our awareness and everything, the physicists are now like, oh, okay, well, despite its unimaginably vast size, the universe is increasingly regarded as a single functioning system. One single system. Just because things are galaxies far, far away and millions of light years away, and they appear to be remote in space and time, they're not separate from here. And so scientific experiments have shown that these things that seem to be separate are virtually connected in fundamental ways, and that they transcend ordinary time and space. And if you haven't heard of these quantum physics experiments, especially the one called non-locality, it's been proven. And it's sort of, non-locality is one of the most incredible insights in science. So at the quantum level, it is so small that you have to have a very, very strong microscope, right? That everything is interconnected, and this universe is unified in this web. It's all this unbroken wholeness. And non-locality proves that every part of reality is entangled in every other part. So, physicist David Bohm says that ultimately we have to understand the entire universe is a single undivided whole.